in Illinois in Garden Zone 5. Welcome. So welcome to my garden today. If you're new, welcome. If you're coming back, thank you so much for joining me today. So if you watched my video from last week, you know that I did a huge plant haul. So we are going to be planting up containers today. And why do I do annuals for containers? I do annuals for containers because in my landscape, it's mostly perennials, shrubs, roses, which all have different bloom times. So your annuals are what give you that pop of color all season long. So we'll get into that. Another thing, have you ever wanted to order roses online, but you're just not sure? How are they going to show up? Are you going to like them? What kind of quality are they? Well, I want to show you the roses that I ordered from High Country Roses, not sponsored, but just so you know, if you're thinking about placing an order for roses, what to expect. And then finally, I want to do a little bit of a walk around in the garden, let you see what's in bloom right now. It is May now. I can't believe it. It's just April just flew by. So let's get going today. We have a lot to talk about. Oh, and the first thing I want to tell you is thank you all for all the comments on the last video about all the ideas on the thrift stuff and for your feedback. I really appreciate it. I appreciate you taking the time to leave a comment because I know everybody has busy lives. So thank you for taking the time in doing that. And if you haven't joined our community yet, hit that subscribe and join. Now these are going to go out in the new cut flower garden because I love having roses out when I do arrangements in the house or outside. I just enjoy having roses. So the first one I picked up this is Princess Charlene. Now Princess Charlene is a hybrid tea, and I have Princess Charlene already, and I ordered another one. So I have one here in the back garden, and I think I told you before, I did do a lot of cut flowers off of Princess Charlene last year, but I wanted to get another one so I can cut more flowers and use them in arrangements and then leave the one out in the landscape just to enjoy out in the yard. So let me give you the details, and look how nice Princess Charlene is already. Now she's a hybrid tea, and according to her tag, she is for zone 4, so all the way down to zone 4, and she will get 4 to 6 feet tall, 2 to 3 foot wide, very fragrant, I can tell you that, has huge apricot blooms on her, and she's a good repeat bloomer. So I'm really excited about having her. And the pots they come in, they ship them very nicely. They wrap them all in paper. They put newspaper and masking tape at the top to keep the soil in. And then they also have packing peanuts in here to protect them. So no breakage, and they come, like I said, very nicely. So my next one that I got was Top Cream. Now Top Cream is like a creamy white color, and again, very nice. Now it is also a hybrid tea. It's zone 5, and it'll get also 4 to 6 foot tall, 2 to 3 foot wide. It's a repeat bloomer, and that's something that I like when I purchase roses. I always try to get repeat bloomers, and I also try to get a fragrance. So this also will have a strong fragrance. And I'll put pictures on the screen of what these look like when they're in bloom. But I was looking for a white rose, a white creamy rose that gave me that look of more of the English cottage type rose, more of that fuller cupped rose. And I thought this one looked pretty and was going to give it a try. And the third one that I picked up is All Dressed Up. Now I've heard really good things about this rose, so I'm really excited to try it. It is a medium to dark pink rose. It's a grand floral, 4 to 6 foot tall, 3 to 4 foot wide. It has a moderate fragrance, and it's also a repeat bloomer. So I'll be really excited to see how this one does and how well it does in fresh cut flower arrangements. And like I said, these are all going to be for the cut flower garden. Now, when High Country Rose sends these to you, they also send you all the instructions you need on taking care of the roses. And one of the things they do mention is, because they have been shipped now, to get them outside and get them accustomed to the sun again. So I've been doing that, kind of hardening them off. And because these are in smaller pots, they can be potted up if you want to wait and not plant them in the ground, or depending on your zone, if it's a rose 2 zones, it has to be 2 zones lower than yours. So if it's a rose garden zone 4, you would need to be in at least a garden zone 6 to keep it in a pot over winter. Otherwise, it would kill it if you, most likely, if you tried to do like I'm in zone 5, I couldn't put a 4 in a pot all winter long and have it survive. So I may pot these up just because I'm not ready yet on the cut flower garden. I showed you that a couple weeks ago, and that's still under construction. But I may put them in a pot for a while before I'm ready to put them out in their new permanent homes. But I just wanted to show you these if you're looking for roses for your garden this year. They have a huge selection, and I'm just real happy with this company. So next, let's get into doing some planting of all those beautiful annuals that I got in the last haul. I want to start getting those containers put together. Okay guys, we're going to plant up the first back garden urn. Now I already have a potting soil in here that has some fertilizer in it, but it is from last winter when I did the little spruce trees. But we're going to leave it in here. It's still good, but what I did was I did add biotone to it to give it a boost. And then I also picked up some of this Spring Ahead from Miracle-Gro, which is just a slow release fertilizer, and added that into it too, because annuals are very, very heavy feeders, and especially petunias, supertunias are heavy feeders. So I wanted extra added into the soil. So let me show you what we're going to plant it up with. We have a Proven Winners Boldly Pink Geranium. Isn't that gorgeous color? And then my favorite, Superbena Violet Ice. And now this is new for me this year, and this is a Supertunia Saffron Bench. I think I'm saying that correctly, but that's a pretty yellow, and I thought those colors together would look nice. And then I did get some Dichondra Falls as my spiller, but I did cut it in half. It came in a 4-inch pot probably, and I sliced it in half, half for each urn, because if you notice on these urns, they're not very deep. So I'm going to have plenty of root balls, and I can't pack a lot into them. So let's get planting. Look, that is going to be a beautiful combination. I can't wait to see how that looks once it starts flowering together. Okay, so we're going to do the side window boxes. Now they already have potting soil in them also. I did put the biotone in. I did give them some slow release fertilizer and mix that in. Now what do we have in the window boxes? I've got a bubblegum Supertunia Vista, a silverberry Supertunia Vista, a Paradise Supertunia Vista in that hot pink color. Then we've got a Superbena Violet Ice, and then I repeated the Silverberry Super Vista and the Bubblegum Vista. So let's get these planted up. Okay, it's the next morning, guys. I planted up the planters and window boxes last night until pretty late. I did the backyard, got most of the back garden done with the containers. Have not even started up front. That'll be another day. But I wanted to take you on a walk around the back garden. So by the time you see this weekend, it'll be a few days into May, and it is just gorgeous. And so it's early in the morning. I want to show you how everything's looking in May, show you the containers I planted up and what I planted in them to give you some ideas if you're looking to plant up your containers and are out shopping and want to have, you know, some inspiration. We'll go there. So let's get looking at the back garden this morning. Okay, you can see that first container when we walk in, and I want to show you that pretty much I repeated the containers throughout the back garden, and here's what I used. We have Proven Winners, Silverberry, Supertunia Vista, Superbena, Violet Ice. I did try the Angel Wings for the first time this season in some of the larger containers as the focal center point plant. Of course, Bubblegum Supertunia Vista, Supertunia Paradise. So here is that color combination up close. Now I don't put a lot in the pots with the Supertunias because the Supertunia Vistas pretty much could be on their own. If I wanted to cut down on planting, I could easily put just one Vista in each of the planters and it would totally take over the planter. But I do like the different colors. So here is the same look again with the Supertunias in the window boxes. And then I had picked up, I'd showed you before in the front window boxes, I had some of that dead nettle that I had picked up. So I just moved it to these side boxes because they're bigger than the front window boxes and have more space in them. So those will be really pretty when they fill in. Now my thrift find that I showed you a couple of videos ago, this pretty wire basket, I did put the mini pink Star Vista in there and just put it by itself because that'll fill in really nicely, I think. So how's everything doing on the 1st of May? All the plants that I planted last year, and if you recall, this bed last year did not even exist. I planted it up, had a contractor come in and put the paver edging down. This was all backyard grass last year and turned it into additional planting space. We've got roses in there. In the back are the Limelight hydrangeas from Proven Winners. A couple different roses that'll be coming in. And as you can see in the front, I've got some different littler plants. And for those of you that love lilacs, but for whatever reason, maybe you're in an apartment or a condo and you don't have space for a full-blown 10, 12 foot lilac, look at these little baby lilacs. These you could even put into a pot and put them in on your deck, patio, balcony. Those are Proven Winners Bloomerang Dwarf lilacs. So they only get to, I think if I recall, maybe 2.5, 3 foot, if that. And then those are repeat bloomers. So look how cute those are. In the front window boxes, and of course, when you first plant your planters, they don't look too hot. I mean, let's be real here. I planted these last night and we got a really good rain. So that really, I watered everything in and then it rained last night. But they'll look better eventually. And so now here are the urns, and they match when I planted them up because that's how I like to do things. I like symmetry. So we have a verbena in there, a boldly pink geranium, some dichondra as our spiller plant, and then I tried a new Supertunia yellow that's called Finch. So we'll see how it does in the planter. So we've got pink, purple, yellow, and then that silvery dichondra. And then I did tuck in a little white sweet alyssum just back in there to have it drape over the side. And usually sweet alyssum smells so good too. So I do like to add that to the planters. So as you can see, this one on this side is the same. And here under the Jane Magnolia, stuff is really filling out under there. I've really added a lot of spring bulbs that I'll be excited to see next year come back. But the Jane Magnolia is still in bloom and looking beautiful. Okay, and I did try something new and it looks like it didn't work, guys. I put the Rocco Poco Pink Impatiens. I thought I'd plant them in the ground under the tree. And look, there's 3 of them and 2 of them were dug up last night. So either, I don't think that that would have been a rabbit, maybe a squirrel or a raccoon. So I will put those in a pot because I'm not going to fight with that all summer long. And that's one of the things that I trial and error. If I have something that is going to be an issue, like I planted this grape hyacinth out of the window box into the ground. Obviously something liked it. It chewed it all the way down. Well, I probably won't fight that. I probably won't plant any more of it because it's just not worth the time and hassle if it doesn't work. There's other things that will work that they'll leave alone and I'll plant those instead. So we have some hydrangeas under the Jane Magnolia. I planted a lot of columbine last year and it's just starting to open, and it's a double columbine. Look how pretty that is. We've got another one here. The hellebores are still going. Now the pink one that I bought a month ago and planted up is looking a lot better. Now it was a bigger pot though, and that could have been why, but you can see it's still blooming and looking a lot better. The Moon Dance one, which was the more of the whitey green, not doing as well, but we'll see how it does next year. It was its first year. And last year I did also plant a bunch of peonies from Lowe's that were bulbs like you get right now, where you can go into Lowe's and in the bulb section you pick out your peonies. I have one back in the corner. There's another one over in there, and then I have another one in the back. So I'll be excited to see if they bloom this year. So look at the beautiful lilac. It's an old-fashioned lilac. I wished I could bottle the fragrance and send it to you through the video. It is absolutely wonderful. But let's cut some flowers and then let's style up the table out here. Now I have a smaller vase, so I don't need that many. Okay, let's go style up the table with these beautiful fragrant lilacs. I've collected a few things from the house and we're gonna style up this table with some thrift finds. So as you know, the bistro table is relatively small. So I had found this curtain, which is a really nice heavy duty curtain when I was out thrifting for about $4. And so what I'm gonna do is just use it as a big oversized tablecloth by just folding it in half. And then I found a pretty placemat set when I was out thrifting for like $1 a piece. So we'll put that there. And this is actually a pillowcase cover to go across the bottom. If you've seen the video where I went thrifting and got the big serving plate that I used to put plants on, I went back and picked these up. They match the set. They're really pretty china with daisies all over them. Let me get closer so you can see that pattern. These were $1 a piece. And on the same day, I found a pretty water decanter that has that yellow weaving on it. This was $4. And I had found this a few months ago. I showed you this teapot, this antique teapot. I think I paid $4 or $5 for this. And what I've done is, inside of it, I've cut a plastic water bottle down to fit inside to hold the water. And that's what we're gonna use for our lilacs. So I've already taken the bottom leaves off of these and then gave them a quick trim. Let's see if they're the right size. Oh yes. Let's move that here. So that was just a really quick, less than 5-minute throw together of a table setting that would just make a beautiful breakfast or lunch outside, enjoying the sunshine and the birds and the beautiful fragrant lilacs while they're in bloom. Let me give you a close-up. Okay, so here's a close-up. So we have those pretty plates, and look at that bee, guys. He was even enjoying the lilacs. And like I showed you, it's just a big oversized 1-panel curtain for a tablecloth. The pillowcase cover with the pretty purple flowers on it. A quick way to have a beautiful, enjoyable breakfast or brunch or lunch outside with the birds providing the background music. Thanks for hanging out with me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're looking for more garden inspiration, check out these videos next, and I will see you next week. Have a great week, guys.